everybody. It is Saturday, August 30th. My name is Karen and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome. This is my knitting vlog and we talk a little bit about life stuff also. So if that interests you, I hope you stick around. It's going to be, well, I'd like to say a very fast episode because I don't have a whole lot of new things to talk about. However, I have time this morning, just a little bit. So I might get babbly. So just get a drink, snack, some knitting, sit back and enjoy the ride. All right. Let's start with finished objects. Sorry, I have no finished objects. I did not get a whole lot of knitting done this week. Actually, that's a lie. I got a good amount of knitting done. But I had to rip it out, so it was one of those weeks. So yeah, no finished objects. All right, let's move on to whips, and let me get a little sip of coffee. I haven't had enough coffee yet. It is early. It's 8:18 a.m. here. Hang on. All right, it's just an iced, I think it's tiramisu coffee that I made myself at home. All right. I am just babbling now, just like I said I would, but we're just going to keep going. All right, whips. Let's go on to whips. All right, we'll talk about this whip first. This is my, this is the Beetlejuice sock yarn that I got from Beach Bum Yarn last year, and here I haven't done the heel yet, so there's the color that the heel will be. This yarn is lovely. I just love it. I love the colors. It's gone very fast. You wouldn't know that though. I actually was all the way up to the heel, just about done with the heel, and I was like, this seems a little small. I hadn't cast on enough stitches. So rather than give this to someone with a smaller foot, I ripped it out and I started again. So at the time I was doing a just a vanilla sock. Now I'm using Kay Jones's umbrella sock pattern. Someone here, I was talking to you about what sock pattern you were knitting, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it is, but they mentioned Kay Jones, and I said, oh, I want to knit one of her patterns. So since I had to rip this little guy out, I was like, let's just cast on a Kay Jones pattern. So this is her umbrella sock. It's toe up. I've determined that I actually like toe up better than heel or cuff down, mainly because of the fit. So I'll probably bounce between the two because I'm okay with that, but just so you know, my preference is toe up sock. So there it is, has a little cute little heel. This yarn, as I said, I love it. It's beautiful colors, beautiful yarn to knit with, and I am just about back to where I was when I ripped it out. Well, minus the heel. So this is 58 stitches, I believe she does. No, 56 stitches. That's where I should have been on the other sock. I was actually at 52, and I just knew that was not going to be comfortable. So yes, there it is. Has my little pumpkin stitch marker on there. It is finally feeling like fall here, by the way. Here being Colorado. All right, it's living in my bag that I won last year from Amber at Amby Marie Knits, and I love it. All right, next up, next sock. Hold on, I'm digging around in my giant basket of whips over here. All right, this is a vanilla sock. This is the second sock out of this. This is Night Owl Fiber. Pineapple Shake Up is the colorway. There is the first one. Oh, it's not a sock blocker, so it looks funky, but I don't feel like bending over to get a sock blocker. Sorry, I'm being lazy. It's early. My back hasn't stretched out. All right, here's the one that's done. Here's the one I'm at now. I'm at the point where I'm getting ready to cast on a heel. It's a German short row heel. I need to get that done today, so I have some mindless knitting to do tomorrow at work. So, as I said, it was Night Owl Fiber. And if you haven't heard, no one really knows what's going on with the dyer from Night Owl Fiber. She refunded a bunch of us money for our advent calendars, which I was really kind of bummed about because I was looking forward to getting her advent, but said she needed a break. So she's taken a break. I've heard that all of her vlog posts are down. Last time I checked, her store is still up though. They still have yarn from her at a few retail outlets that I frequent, and yeah, we don't know if she's coming back or what, but I resisted the urge to go buy more of her yarn in case she wasn't going to die anymore, just because I have no room for yarn. We'll talk about that later, but yes. Oh, I should tell you that this off-white here is just a Cascade 220, Cascade Heritage, and just a like off-white color. So yes, and these are for my sister for her birthday. All right, so I will be doing a lot of sock knitting today. Yes. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to, okay, told you my back, I'm like having to bend over and it's early, I haven't stretched enough, my back's hurting. All right, I'm just whining now. All right, in my Fat Squirrel Fibers bag here is my husband's Christmas sock. And this was a Christmas in July cast on. I got a little bit knit on it. This is another one where I just need to get it done. I'm so close to having one done. Hang on, I'm all tangled up here. Yeah, so here is, it's a Botanic sock by Stephen West. There it is. It's looking very good. I have all of this still to attach to the bottom. Once I get to the end of this, then we're at the toe. So it's getting close. I just haven't knit on it as much as I like. This is a Zauber Crazy Ball, the Tropical Fish Zauber Crazy Ball. That is the colored part. And then the yellow is Skepshi's Arcadia. So Stephen does an interesting construction here, and I actually like this construction. He does the leg, he does the top of the foot, and then he does the heel and the bottom. So I might actually make another pair of these at some point because I'm enjoying the process of it, and they seem to fit really well. My husband really likes them, so I might make him a second pair of these at some point, or make someone else some. We'll see, because I have a couple Zauber balls that are not in use. So yes, love this. I still have a second one to knit, obviously. All right, he does know about them because I'm having him try them on. So, and it's 72 stitches, and I think it's the first time I've ever knit him a 72 stitch one, because I've been real lax about making sure that the fit is just perfect for socks for myself and him. So we are like trying to narrow that down to just like, does this really fit? You know, is it a sock size that works for us? Does the heel work? All of that. So with my husband and I, I'm just taking my time and doing all kinds of different patterns, all kinds of different heels, stitch count wise, all of that, until I get just the right recipe that fits us. So yeah, so I keep having my husband try it on. That's what I was trying to say. All right. All right, we are out of the sock portion of this show. All right, the next thing I have is also a Christmas in July cast on, And it is a gift for my daughter for Christmas, and it's out of the Knitted Wild Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. This book is getting a lot of use. It's like bent and yeah. I've knit Charlie the monkey out of it, and now I'm knitting Olivia the elephant, who I'll show you a picture of her. There she is. I'm trying to just show you the elephant and not any of the pattern. I'm doing my elephant in hot pink, and don't know about if I'm going to be doing the clothes or not, but we'll decide. So this week I finished the elephant's head. It's not stuffed yet, so yeah, there's the nose. So you can kind of see it there. Like if you look, you can tell that it's going to be an elephant head. There it is. And then I've cast on the first ear, but that's all I have to show. So this is Skepshe's Stonewash, and the clothes, if I do them, will be in Skepshe's Catatonia, you know what I mean. You can go look on my project page, which is linked below. Speaking of which, my Ravelry is also BobbleHeadKnits. Couldn't remember my own name. And I'm really good, like Amber said this yesterday on her vlog. I'm the same way, Amber. I am really good at posting the project at the start and filling out things at the end. I'll put the yarn, but I don't make any other notes. So yeah, if you want to go look on my Ravelry. All right, so I need to pick up the pace on this. I mean, so many of these things, I feel like if I just took like a week off from work, I could just finish. But I don't have that luxury, so. All right. Well, I did a little bit on my dishcloths. Actually, let's wait on the dishcloths because I want to show you the yarn that I dyed last week. In fact, I need to go get it. So yeah, we're gonna wait. All right, my sister's cowl. This is the Birdie cowl by Tracy Cox, and it's a brioche cowl, and it's coming along. You can't really tell that it's coming along, but it is. This is where I was last week when you saw it. So I knit like an inch on it. Yeah. I need to take a month off of work just to knit. There it is. It's beautiful. I am knitting this in Madeline Tosh. Ooh, is it Madeline Tosh? Yes, Madeline Tosh. And one color is geranium and the other is, I don't know because I can't read without my glasses. So I'm gonna put my glasses on. Hang on. Ooh. Nope. I have no clue what the other one is. Hold on. Geranium is this color. And then the other color is Beta. There it is. So, and this is coming along. The brioche knitting is, I can do it like watching TV now. So I feel like, it should be done quicker, but I'm busy. Got a full-time job. I got, a life, kind of. Watching little kids, all of that. All right, let's move on here. Oh, okay, we'll talk about this project, which I got some issues with this project, but I'm going to continue on. I'm going to trust the process and keep my fingers crossed that it worked. All right, I didn't tell you the bag on the Birdie cowl. It's just a bag that I picked up in California in Palm Springs last year, the year before, yeah. All right, this project is living in my giant, beautiful, custom-made bag from Amber at Amber Knits. You guys should go check her out if you haven't. But Amber made this bag for me, and the best thing is that the inside comes out to make it even bigger. So yeah, which I haven't needed yet, but I'm going to, we hope. All right, this is my Snowbird cardigan. This is actually a Christmas gift for my daughter-in-law, and she also knows it's coming because I need her to try things on and all that. So this is by Heidi Kiermaier, yeah, go look on my Ravelry page. It's beautiful. Look at this. This yarn is Malabrigo Rios in the colorway Scorpio. There's one not skeined up yet, or not, wound yet. Oops, something fell off. It's worsted weight yarn, beautiful. Navies, burgundies, grays, gorgeous, gorgeous. The problem I am having, so I am one repeat away from starting on the sleeves. The problem I am having is that one sleeve on this thing, I'm off on the stitch count by about 20. I'm gonna fudge it and see if it's gonna work. The pattern has you knit the collar first. Well, start the collar, then start knitting the body, attach the collar. So that's the collar and it's attached. And then knit a bunch of raglan increases, and then you pause everything, you put everything on waste yarn, and then you knit the sleeves. It calls for knitting the sleeves flat. I'm not gonna do that. I'm knitting in the round. And if I am able to get the sleeves to work without ripping it out, this one right here is short. If I can do a bunch of increases and make it work out and it's comfortable, I'll continue knitting. Otherwise, I'll be ripping this out. Yeah, I realized yesterday that it's just this one panel. It's this one sleeve is off. Look, the last cardigan I knit, it's been a few years, and it was not this same construction, and it's so, yeah. We'll see. I told my daughter-in-law what's going on, and I told her I may have to rip it out, but for now I'm just going to continue. So I'm at that point where, I don't know about you guys, but well, one, I rarely read a pattern all the way through before I cast it on. I just like to be surprised. And then usually what will happen is I'll start knitting on it in a little ways, like I'll have a good amount done, and then I'll be like, this doesn't make sense. I did something wrong. Sometimes I did something wrong. Sometimes the pattern is messed up. Usually it's I did something wrong. So I either continue knitting at that point and just hope and pray that it works, or I rip it out. So I'm at that point. I'm trying to remember what Stephen Westwood say, which is trust the process. So I'm just going to trust the process. I'm going to continue knitting on it. And if I get one sleeve done and it is not feeling like the right fit for my daughter-in-law, I'll rip the whole thing out. So yeah, I'd like to not, because that's actually took me like a few weeks to do that, like all of August. So yeah, let me see. All right, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go get my dyed yarn, then I'm gonna show you my last whip and we'll continue from there. I'll be right back, okay, hang on. All right, I'm back. The next project, didn't do a whole lot on. A lot of you know this. I'm knitting these lovely dishcloths from Dana Rachel, and I'm doing them in a combination of Dishy from Knit Picks. This is Dishy from Knit Picks, and then some K&C yarn that I had in stash that I am dyeing myself. So the first ones I've done have all been in Dishy. This is Dishy. It's worsted weight, and it has some choice words on it. You can't really read them now. I need to make like about 12 of these, maybe a few more. I'm doing these for Christmas, and everyone who comes to celebrate Christmas with us will be getting one. I don't care what your political affiliations are, you're getting one. And yeah, so I need to pick up the pace because I'm just not making the progress. What I really need is like to win the lottery and just sit here and knit all day. That's what it comes down to, okay? Forget this, take a week off or take a day off and knit. I need to just take off for permanent, like retire and yeah, knit all day. All right, so that I need to pick up the pace on. But one thing I've been doing the last couple weeks has been dyeing the yarn. And I don't have the undyed yarn, but I've dyed now, how many? I've dyed 3 of them. So I'm gonna show you the ones that I've dyed. They're all living, sorry, in this bag, along with some blue dishy. So I'll show you the ones that I dyed last week first. Actually, this is the dishy I have left. This is the one that I first dyed. Okay, this is the very first one. So it was K&C cotton yarn, just white. It's DK weight, so that the size of these will be different. I'm not going to adjust the pattern so much to make it like gauge and all that match up. I don't care if it does. I did have a few issues. You'll see some white there. This is like my test one. I'm still going to use it, but yeah. And then I have these others. Hang on one second. I'm going to pause you just for a second. Hang on. Okay, sorry. My nose was runny. So, all right. Last week I did 2 skeins, 2 more skeins. And I'm doing solar dyeing. I'll show you how I'm doing it. This is one of the colors. It's, don't know what the official name was, but it's supposed to be orange. It is orange. It's just a lot darker. It's more like a brick orange. It's beautiful. It really is. This one turned out much more evenly dyed, so I was happy about that. It is in a ball, not a cake, because I need to apparently go back to remedial yarn winding on the Umbrella and Swift, Umbrella Swift and the cranking thing, because I almost ended up with a third yarn barf that I had to untangle, but I salvaged this one. I did not get so lucky on the other skein. That's currently living in this Fortnum & Mason bag with this. Yes, Diane, I did it again. And this is to my friend Diane at My Pink Bathtub. She did one like this the same weekend I did one like this, and then I did a second. I almost did a third. This one's easier to untangle though because it is DK weight. I've got the beginnings of it. Just haven't had time to do it. So no rush though, because at the rate I'm knitting these, it'll be a while. So yes. Yeah. Remedial yarn winding. That's the class I'm gonna take next. All right. Yeah. So it's been a tough week for yarn around here. All right, I'm going to show you the yarn packs I'm doing. I thought about doing, recording me actually dyeing these, but it's kind of boring. I'm not a fancy dyer. I don't have all the supplies. The only thing I did, I went on to, the name of it is Dharma Trading Company. I know this because I'm reading it off the envelope. They're a California-based company, and they sell yarn dyeing supplies. So I did not want to buy a huge amount of dye. I wanted like a rainbow of colors, and this is cotton yarn. So I went on their website. Sorry, I'm cutting open an envelope because it is in here. I just wanted a little bit of dye. So I've been ordering these little dye packs from Dharma Trading Company, and they come really quick. I think I ordered this one on Saturday last week, and it's probably been sitting in my mailbox since like Monday or Tuesday. I only check my mail like once a week. Speaking of which, Diane, I got your letter. Yes, Diane lives in Canada and she sent me a letter. So we're pen pals now, Diane. All right. This is the yarn packs. And I bought 2 more. I got a pink and is that a pink? Yeah, it's pink. And then a lilac purple. And they're eye dye. They're real easy to use. They're already pre-measured. And I have like a 32-ounce canning jar. Well, I have like 3 of them. And you put these in there with like a cup of non-iodized salt and hot water, and you put the yarn in, and in my case, I just set it outside. According to the instructions on these, if you use these, you can either do the dyeing on the stovetop, which I did not want to do because I don't have like separate pots that I don't cook in, so I didn't really want to go out and get some, and yeah. You can also do it in your washing machine. I'm not taking the chance that I ruin the washing machine or anything. So yeah, I'm just doing these as solar dyeing. It's a real easy process. The biggest issue that I have is that I tend to spill a lot. So I ruined a couple dish towels. I dyed them yellow last week. But yeah, other than that, super easy process. It's a fun thing too. You really, like, as you watch the color like take and all that, it's cool. If you have kids, they would probably love this, but you know, it's not like they're chemicals, so you don't want the kids doing it, but they might like the process. All right, I'm going to stick that in here, stick that somewhere. Okay, that's the yarn dyeing portion of the show. All right, hang on, sorry for the crinkle. Okay, let's see where we are. In case you're wondering, I have my window open right behind you, so if you hear something, that's why. If you hear people talking or birds chirping or ducks quacking, yeah, my neighbors have ducks, so yes, we hear the ducks often. I would love to have some duck eggs. All right, let's see. I think, okay, that gets us to stash enhancements. We have a few, okay? Sorry. Hang on, I'm just gonna bring the basket. The basket is this, and I keep all my projects in it, and I dump things in it throughout the week, and then I go through it whenever I vlog. So let's just, hang on, you're gonna hear a crinkle. I am going to show you the yarn that came in, which I just want to be clear. This is not yarn that I bought. I won this yarn, okay? Just so you know. I won this yarn for Mandy at Mandy Von Knits. Hi, Mandy. Thank you so much for this yarn, Mandy. It came really fast. I picked to win a $100 gift card at Blackbird Sycamore Yarn. And Mandy lives in Michigan, but she buys yarn from Blackbird Sycamore quite a bit. Blackbird Sycamore is based in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is just up the road from me. I'm in Denver, so like I could technically drive to Cheyenne in a few hours. I don't, but if I wanted to, I could. So the yarn dyer, I was really impressed. She was really sweet. She reached out to me on Etsy and said, just pick 4 skeins of yarn and I'll ship them right out. And she did. So I got it really fast. So let me show you the yarn that I picked. I picked all fingering weight yarn, just so you know, and it's on her super soft, hand-dyed super soft base. And the very first one I picked is Very Violet. There it is. This is a beautiful deep purple. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I love it. I love the color. So might be used for socks, might be used for something else. We don't know. Then I have this Crimson Queen. These could kind of go together. Kind of. Yeah, I didn't buy them with the intention of knitting them together. We'll see. This is more variegated skein. Beautiful, kind of burgundy-ish. I might do a, yeah, we'll see. I was going to say, maybe I'll do a hat with it. We'll see. All right, now these two I picked out thinking I need to knit a summer top in the middle of winter because it will take me that long to get it done. And these are the ones I picked to do that with. Moonstone and Glacier, Blackbird, Sycamore, look at that. And I'm going to do the rocket tee with these, I've decided. And I'm going to start these sometime in the winter. And I really am, I'm going to like just knit them all winter because fingering weight takes a long time to knit a sweater. And I would love to have a sweater by springtime or a t-shirt by springtime. So yeah, there it is. I've tried to do it before where I've knit a fingering weight sweater or a top and I never finished because it takes so long. So this time I am going to be very intentional. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to feel rushed. And hopefully by spring, I will have a nice top. I'm not casting it on now, though. This will be a like December-ish project cast on. Okay. All right, that's just beautiful. I saw this Moonstone. I'm not a huge variegated fan, but I saw this Moonstone. I fell in love with it. I was like, well, what can I do with that? Something I can pair it with to make something lovely. And so that's what I picked out. So beautiful colors. She also sent me a few other little things. So sweet of her. Let's see. I got a little bookmark ruler thing. Yes, here she is. And a couple stitch markers. I got a shoe. Converse, high top, and then a Halloween one, candy corn. Yes, I'm one of those weird people that like candy corn, but only during Halloween. Not like, don't give me candy corn in August. Give it to me in like October 1st, and then in October I'll eat it, and then I won't eat it anymore. Okay, all right. Yes. So again, Mandy at Mandy Von Knits, thank you. You are just too generous. Mandy was having a birthday giveaway, and she gave away a lot. It was not just what I got. So, yes, I was quite surprised that I won, but I was really excited, and I love this yarn. I've been wanting to try it, and I just hadn't, and so now I'm going to. All right. So, based on that, let's just move right along. I did order one more skein of yarn for my daughter-in-law's sweater because when I bought the yarn earlier this month, they didn't have enough skeins at the store I was in. So I was going to buy another. I was like, I'll just buy it online because I knew I could get it online. So I did that. All right. Let's go to State of the Stash. Yes, it's close enough to the end of the month. I'm not going to finish anything in the next day or two, so we can do it. We can do State of the Stash really quick here. All right, just to give you a recap of where we were. August 1st, I had 459.43 skeins of yarn in my stash. We'll be talking about my stash some more, like in the big scheme of things after this. As of this morning I have 474.26 skeins. August was not a good month for my stash. A lot came in and a lot did not go out. All right, but that's okay because I bought yarn for Christmas projects, the sweater for the cardigan for my daughter-in-law. You know, it happens. So there we are. So I used up 377.7 yards of yarn. That was on a pair of socks and a dishcloth. And that is the equivalent of 1.17 skeins of yarn. And that is 117 grams. I had 16 skeins come in. 16. Yeah. I'd like to say, well, except for the Blackbird Sycamore yarn, all of the yarn was bought with like cast-ons in mind. Like I cast on something with the yarn I bought this month. So that was good, right? That 16 skeins was the equivalent of 1,629 grams, or how many? I know I have it here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but yeah, it's a lot in. So it was not a good month for my stash, as I mentioned. I have lived in my house for a year now. It was like a year ago that we moved in here, and I got my own office yarn room. I had everything all nicely put away. All the yarn had a home. Every cabinet door, every closet door closed perfectly. Things are getting out of control again, though, and I've run out of room. I mean, I should not say I ran out of room. In the big scheme of things, I didn't, because look at all that room back there. I could put some more shelves in and put more yarn. I don't want to do that. I want to use with what I currently have, like the room I currently have for my yarn stash. I want my yarn to stay contained in that space. That currently is not happening. So I'm going to have to make some tough choices in this coming year. Do I have a low buy year or a no buy year? No buy years never work for me, just so you know. So I'll probably do a low buy year. And I'm going to start playing the lottery. So maybe I can win and, you know, retire a few years early. Just saying. All right, so that was the bigger stash news. We'll figure it out though. Not too worried about it, as I've got yarn sitting on on the floor behind me because I have no cabinets or anything to put it in anymore. Okay, moving right along. Other knitting news. I am going to have another cast on Monday. I am casting on for Karen at Recreational Knitting. Hi, Karen. We're going to do One Skein September, and she's hosting it, and I'm going to cast on a One Skein Musselburgh hat with this beautiful freckled whimsy yarn that I got. This was this month's yarn, and it was Puddle Jumping. No, actually it was July, so it was last month. Puddle Jumping. Car goes by. Puddle Jumping is the name of the colorway. It is the Serendipity base. Is this gonna be enough? I gotta remember, because I can never remember. Oh, yeah, this one's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to pick something else. Yeah, well, forget what I was gonna say. I am gonna cast on a hat. A Musselburgh hat. Not with this. There went those plans. I will be casting on a Musselburgh hat, though, for my brother-in-law for Christmas. And yes, I will be casting that on Monday, but I need to find a new skein now. I forgot that I buy the 80 grams, not the 100 grams. I need more like 100 grams, so yeah. I have plenty of yarn, don't worry. He might be getting a purple hat. All right, so that will be a new cast on next week. You'll see it, and you'll be surprised by what yarn I end up using, because I don't know now what I'm going to use, but I'll figure it out. All right, I am short a skein of yarn. I had ordered some yarn from Cuddle Bums in, I want to say it was like May or so. It was like a birthday or anniversary skein surprise that she was doing. I ordered it. It was supposed to ship in July. I never got it. I messaged her. I have not heard back. So I gotta go hunt her down and ask where that is. I'm a little worried because my big advent for this year is from Kettle Bums, and she's in the UK. I've never had issues. Like, I always get UK orders very quickly. They're not a big deal, but I am a little worried because this yarn didn't come, and then I've heard of other shipping issues there. So I'm just a little worried about my advent. And then I haven't heard from her about the email I sent her about the other one. So yeah, okay. All right, that's it for the, yeah. Okay, well, Stephen West did come out with his, well, he didn't release it yet, but he is already promoting the Mystery Knit Along, which starts in October. I think the skeins are going to go on sale in September, on September 1st, that he's selling the kits. I'm not going to participate. I always get the yarn and then I don't knit it, or I start knitting it and don't like it. So I'm not even gonna this year. I'll watch everyone else do it, and I hope it's wonderful. I hope you all have a great time knitting it. If I decide I want to knit it after the fact, I can do that. So, all right, and more coffee. All right, next up, if you don't want to stick around to hear about my life, I totally get that. All right, next up, my life. Not a whole lot going on. This is a day late, my recording. This is Saturday. I usually record on Fridays. Yesterday I was watching my grandson, so I did not have time to record. We went to the Children's Museum. Denver has a really nice children's museum, so we did that and went to breakfast and did, all the fun two-year-old activities. So that's why I did not record. Of course, I actually almost did not record at all because I felt like I didn't have anything new to show you all. But I was like, I'm just going to record. Why not? Everyone can commiserate with me and my lack of knitting time and my issues with not being able to count and not reading patterns, and yeah, just come commiserate with me. Yeah. All right. It is starting to feel like fall here. We had a week in the 70s and 80s, so that was really nice. I was able to keep my window in my office open. It's open now, as I mentioned, and we got a lot of rain this week and supposed to be more cooler temperatures. Of course, this is Colorado, so what can happen from here on out is anyone's guess. Usually we have well into October, very warm temperatures, or it could just snow one day. So, but it's definitely a change. You can tell that fall is coming. And so this has been a really nice change. And yeah, I'm happy about it. All right, I do like summer, but this extreme heat that climate change has brought is, not the best thing. Fall is better. So, yes. Let's see, other big news. Of course, we all know about Travis and Taylor getting engaged. That was such good news. Even if you're not a Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fan, you have to admit that was some happy news in a time where we don't have a whole lot of happy news. Things are going to hell around the world, and so any little bright thing to bring a smile to your face, you're welcome. And Travis and Taylor getting engaged, that made me very happy. All right, let's see. What else is going on life-wise? Nothing. I mean, I've been working and, yeah, babysitting and dyeing yarn and not a whole lot. This weekend, I do work tomorrow, Sunday, but I have Monday off, so it's going to be like a weird split day, long weekend, if that makes sense. So I was going to take off tomorrow, but we are minimally staffed on Sundays, and what I do, we staff 24/7, 365 days a week. So I didn't want to take off and leave us even more shorter staff. So that's why I'm working one day and then taking a day off. All right, TV and books. I finished The Pit on HBO Max. Excellent show if you want to watch that. A very emotional show, but I can see why it's winning all kinds of awards, because just some very fine acting, fine writing, all of that. And what else? Oh, there goes my dogs. I don't know why. They're just okay. I have not finished any books this week, so don't have anything to talk to you about there. Have not really started. Well, okay, I started watching a few episodes of Hunter Wives, I think it's called, on Netflix. It's like this Texas drama. I don't know what it is, but it's on Netflix. I've watched like 3 episodes, two or three episodes. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's no Pit. Yeah. All right, I think that's it, really. Okay, this is going to be a little bit longer, but like I said, I have time to chat today. All right, I'm going to go eat breakfast because, yeah, I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Then we're going grocery shopping. Got to take Atticus, my grandson. We're going to go grocery shopping. He's very excited about it. I've already spent some time with him this morning, and he was already talking about that he had to go grocery shopping. So I'm going to do that, and then hopefully I'll have time just to knit this afternoon, but we'll see. All right, everybody have a great week. I'll see you next week, and keep on knitting. Bye.